Hello and welcome to another video. I wanted to do a quick and dirty video here just to show you some of the changes which are upcoming, particularly to the 5e rule set, just in case you wanted to play around with these yourselves. Now, if you do want to do this, then you're going to have to go into your settings, and then in settings you're going to click on the advanced tab, and then in the build channel drop down menu here you're going to select test channel, and then you're going to save that, and then you're going to need to update Fantasy Grounds so that you get the updates downloaded. Once you've done that, then you can just start a campaign as normal. Now, if you are using the test channel for a campaign, don't use it as a play campaign because there could well be changes. You could end up messing up your campaign. So keep the test channel campaign simply for testing and working through some of the new features to see what they can do. So let's start off with the NPC Importer. If we click on NPCs here, we've got the player's handbook loaded, the only thing we've got loaded, but we come to this button here and we've now got an import text button. When we open this, we've got two screens. We've got a space for the stat block on the left hand side and descriptive text here on the right hand side. Now to save time, I've already got this monster here copied from the monster manual, and I've sorted out all the text in Notepad. That's a totally separate video on this, which I'll do once everything is released, but suffice to say that you need to make sure that you've got all your text formatted here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to now copy the stat block here, and we're just going to paste that in here, and then I'm going to do the same for my description. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that into this side here, and once I'm done I'm just simply going to click on import, and you can see that the NPC has imported. It's as simple as that. We've got all the traits, we've got all the actions and everything like that. It's all there. If we click on the other tab, we've got a description, and we've got a text panel here which shows us the Barb Devil in all its glory. Now, if you wanted then to go to a reference manual builder, for example, if you click on the new page here, you can then just simply select this, copy it, put it into a text block, paste it into a text block. If you wanted to make it fancier, it's another text block, and let's put in, say, this here. We can paste that in there. We could take this bit out of here, and then you've got your text block in a different format from the actual description. You can take this bit out of the description, for example, and there you go. You've got everything. Add a picture, and you've got a reference manual page with your new NPC. Okay, that's the NPC importer. Let's get rid of all of this. Let's now go to our character and go to classes. We've got two new buttons up here, Specialisation and Spell List. Let's go look at the specializations. If we open that up, this creates a new class specialization, which is completely separate from the actual class itself. So basically the specializations have been split from the classes. You can create a specialization without actually having to recreate the class as well. And this really follows exactly the same pattern as you would have done previously. We click on this button here to add a new item. Let's call this the Way of the Scots, just for the hell of it. We go to the other tab, and the first thing we need to do is tell Fantasy Grounds what class this specialization belongs to. So we're going to give it to the Barbarian, and then we're going to add class features. We just add item, we put in the level that this comes in, we give it a name, and then we click on the icon here, and we give it whatever it is that you're going to be doing. We can close that off on the first page here. This is just descriptive, so some descriptive text. It doesn't matter what this is. It can be anything you like, and you can link other things here, images, etc., tables, whatever you want. So we've created a sub or a class specialization here. If we go to the characters and just create a new character, let's drag in the barbarian into the class and level. All works the same as we would expect it to. Drag in another level, and at third level we get our pop-up for our class specialization, and you see that we have the Way of the Scots here, which is the class specialization we just created, plus we also have the ones from the player's handbook, and all of the whatever books you have open here will add in the specialization from those books, plus any that you have created in your campaign. So let's pick the Way of the Scots here. And if we click now on our magnifying glass at the end of here, you'll see that we've got a specialization Way of the Scots. We've got a link which we can open, shut that, just to show you that it does work. And here we've got our Way of the Scots, etc. And of course, any abilities have also been put in here. Here's our Bloodlust here has been added into the Features tab. If we go back to we'll close this off. If we go back to our classes and go to the spell lists, then we can come in here, go to definitions, add a new spell list definition, and just put in, let's say, barbarian, and we can go to our spells, and we can add in just by dragging and dropping whatever spells that we fancy, and so we've created a spell list for this particular class. Bad example of this, but you get the idea as to how this works. Let's now have a look at the race importer, and this follows a very similar pattern to the NPCs. We have got our usual window here, but we've got this extra button which is to import text. When we open this, it gives us paste the race text here. Again, to save time, I have copied something from the player's manual. And again, you'll want to make sure that you've got the text is kind of formatted before you do this. We're just going to paste this in. This is the dwarf here. We can now sort of do all sorts of things here to make sure that our text is formatted. I mean, for example, if we wanted this first paragraph in italics, then we can add that in, and we can do a lot of other stuff outside, which I'll cover in another video once we have finished, or once it's been released. All we need to do then is just simply import the text, and you can see that that little bit here that I put in has been italicized. It's added in all the ability scores, etc. It's taken the titles, it's made them bold and italic and everything. It's made it all neat. And if we go to the other tab, it's added in the ability scores, etc. And all the traits have been added in properly to the race. So that's the race importer. Now let's have a look at the subraces. We go back to our races menu, we see we now have a subraces button. So just like class specializations, the race subraces have now been separated out from the actual races themselves. So you don't need to copy over the race in order to create a subrace. And it's pretty much the same thing. We're just going to click on add item. We're going to give this a name, and then we're going to go to our other tab. The first thing we need to do is tell Fantasy Grounds what race this subrace belongs to, and then we just add in our races as we would do normally. Talking and typing at the same time, not a great idea. We can click on that once we've done it, and increases by 2. And we've now created a subrace, so you obviously would have different things from this. We can shut all this down. We can go back to our test character here, open them up. We go to our races tab, go back to the main, select the dwarf here, put it in, and we can see we now have our subrace as well as the two standard subraces from the player's handbook. So we'll click our Scottish dwarf here, we'll click OK, and it's given us the +2 constitution score for that ability score increase, and it would also add in anything else. You can see here now that we've got two icons, or two little links. The first one is to your race, and the second one is to the subrace. So that's the subrace importer, or subrace creator. Okay, let's close all this down. One other thing I wanted to show you, if we go to items this time, and if we go to add an item, let's call this criminals pack. If we come down here to type, and we call this a type of equipment pack, once we tab out, we can see here we've got included items in here, which gives us a list. We can add items manually, or we can simply drag items in to this thing, and it'll add it in here. Just drag a couple of things in just for fun. And we've now created an equipment pack. If we go to our character and into their inventory, and we drag this in, then the items which were included in here are automatically added into the character's inventory. So that's it, quick and dirty. Hope you find this useful, and let the testing carry on. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers for now.